Yo, yo, yo. What it do? What it do?
What's up, fam?
Hi,
How you
Sade.
doing?
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
We're doing we're doing great. I said y'all, that included you, ma'am.
Oh, my bad. Hey y'all.
Oh man. Well, we are back from our Thanksgiving break. We only did the one show last week on Wednesday, our little Thanksgiving special. We appreciate everybody who joined in, and we hope that you all had a fantastic, wonderful, glorious, super fantastic, awesomeness Thanksgiving with your family, and you made it to and fro safely. And we are going to start off this week with Miss Curry here. She's going to talk to us about some money stuff, particularly surrounding the trucking industry. She's got some good information to drop to everybody. Her and I spoke. I think it was last week, right, Sade? I believe, right before Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. About a
Yeah,
week
yeah,
or two ago. Yep.
yeah. So real excited to have her on here. And with that, we'll see. Dr. Dre, how was your day, man? How was your
It
Thanksgiving?
was good,
Actually,
man. Oh, my weekend. Weekend was good. I had a nice, quiet Thanksgiving with the family, and then I had a nice, rowdy Thanksgiving or Friendsgiving with the people that I've come to love and know here in Nashville. I was told I had a good time, so it was great, man. Had some good football. My Miami Dolphins pulled out the first official win on Friday, Black Friday. First ever NFL football game. Miami Dolphins, #1, baby. See us in the Super Bowl. But other than that, man, it was good. Helped my mom today put up some Christmas ornaments and little Christmas trees, yada yada yada. So it's been good, man. I'm glad to be back in the cold weather and love the holiday season.
that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Sade, how about you? How was your Thanksgiving, and how was your day today?
Today was great. I'm just coming back from a little hiatus, self-care. I guess that's the big word for it now, self-care. It's not necessarily getting your nails and hair done. It's actually taking a mental break and saying, screw this, I'll do that tomorrow. You know what I mean? But actually my Thanksgiving was pretty peculiar. It was my first Thanksgiving in Nashville. I am originally from Arkansas, so I was away from I was away from my family. Normally I'm the one that's doing all the cooking and everybody's, coming to eat. This year I celebrated here in Nashville with my stepdaughter and my children. So it was quite interesting. I ate some dressing there was kind of like Play-Doh. I said, what the hell is this? But, I folded the plate up and I threw it away and we kept it moving. I almost hit a deer, man. I almost hit a deer coming home. I was just telling him, I almost hit a deer coming through them hills through Mount Juliet on Thanksgiving. Scared the hell out of me.
Yeah. When I lived in Old Hickory, I lived back off of Rebel Road, and I say, like 30 deer that would be
Oh my
crossing my path.
goodness. Woo,
Yeah.
man, I wasn't ready for that. I was not ready for what I seen. Like, I ain't never seen that many at one time.
Yeah, drive
So
slow. It's their world. We're just living in it.
got that right. You got that right.
How was your day,
Well,
Rob?
mine was good, bro. Just another day of slinging freight, man. That's all, dude. Thanksgiving was great, man. My Thanksgivings are always good. We celebrate pretty much every holiday or the big holidays with my side of the family. So it's just chilling, drinking beer, watching football, talking shit, and that's it, man. Like that's all it is every year, dude. It's freaking it's fantastic. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Nothing spectacular. I don't have no exhilarating story like Sade here had, where I had to miss miss wild animals and everything.
Man,
That's a daily experience here in Tennessee, man. we got one of the shortest hunting seasons of all time, but
why? So this shit could be
why?
rolling all year, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The deer are getting invasive at this point. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
you're cute and all that, but I would love to fill my freezer.
I would love it. Yes, I would love it.
Well, all right, so we're going to go ahead and keep this train moving. Before we get into our news, we're going to go ahead and get a quick sponsor break in here. Our very first and continued sponsor, AccuBid. Get that app for all you lease and owner operators. It's available in the Apple and Google Play Store. Help you record those costs, learn your cost per mile so you can bid better, win better freight, and make more money. There it is.
Don't be a victim of cheap freight anymore. Take back control. These are turbulent times for the transportation industry, with companies merging or even closing their doors. Whether you're going out on your own or leasing on with a new company, know your operating costs. Look out for you and bid better with AccuBid Pro.
All right. Man, I think Jimmy's gonna come back on the show in December. And before we move on,
dude.
I know, dude. That's what I keep telling him. So before we move on to our news, though, I want to say while they are sponsoring the Logistics Lounge, AccuBid is giving out their first month free. So make sure you go, like I said, download that app, sign up for it, and whenever you leave your review, make sure you put in there that you heard about it on the Logistics Lounge. So we'll get right into our news story. This one, just stumbled upon this one today. Well, that's because it was posted today. Go fucking figure, right? Anyway, it goes along very well with a continuing series that we have, which is our fight and bringing attention to the ridiculous amounts of fraud that is going on in the industry right now. And this one, I think, is, or well, actually, I think this one is a win for all of us. Someone that it did a massive amount of fraud. Is a repeat offender, has done this over several years, finally got sentenced and is being punished accordingly to what they did. So with that, we'll move right on into our news. All right. As you can see, Michigan trucking fraudster was sentenced to 17 years for a $40 million Ponzi scheme today, or for a $40 million Ponzi scheme. As you can see, this one comes courtesy of FreightWaves. It was published today, as I said earlier. And here is the breakdown of the article. So, a repeat offender from Canton, Michigan, by the name of Franklin Ray. He was sentenced to 212 months, or the equivalent of 17.666 years in prison after pleading guilty to 4 counts of wire fraud. With one of those counts, he actually did while he was on bail. He will also have to serve 5 years of parole and was ordered to forfeit $42 million in assets, one of which includes a 68 Camaro. I tried looking for some pictures to see if I could find any somewhere, but I wasn't able to. Like, I wanted to see, what this Camaro looked like. So anybody watching this, if you can find this picture of this guy's Camaro, please shoot it over to me so we can put it on the show. I would love to see what it looks like. All right. Anyway, part of this stems from his part in a multi-million-dollar Ponzi scheme that was disguised as an investment into a trucking operation. He defrauded about 275 investors, or that's what he pleaded guilty to, defrauding 275 investors through a company called CSA Business Solutions. It was a trucking company that was headquartered in Imlay City, Michigan. The way he did it is he told investors that with a $20,000 investment, he would buy and operate a truck for them, and they'd receive a 77% cut of the income over several years. If he actually literally used the word income and people like bought into that immediately, then man, that's a huge red flag right there. He didn't even use the word fucking profit. Anyway, he helped lure those investors in by saying that he had already had 4,000 trucks and 4,000 drivers, when in fact he only had 2 trucks and 4 drivers. Additionally, Ray pleaded guilty to obtaining $2 million in PPP and EIDL, or an economic injury disaster loan, which were meant to assist small businesses during COVID to stay open. Franklin was also previously found guilty and served prison time for bank and wire fraud back in 2008, which is what brings him to be a repeat offender. That one as well surrounded a fraudulent truck operation where he milked people out of money and got investors into the company, said he was going to do certain things and provide them, financial returns, and, none of it happened. In that case, he was ordered to pay $1.3 million in restitution. And like I said, we can obviously assume that him being this previous offender is what led him to getting 17 years in prison. This seems like a pretty sizable Ponzi scheme, but if you know anything about Ponzi schemes, it's actually relatively small compared to a lot of them that have gone on out there. All right, so my final note, I want to say that $1.9 million of the scam money from the current case was done while he was on bail, which I said and mentioned at the top of the article. So he had already been arrested for a majority of this Ponzi scheme, got out, opened up another bank account, another LLC, and then scammed another $1.9 million out of people, literally while he's, like I said, out on bail and under indictment for the original Ponzi scheme. And here's some crazy things that I wanted to bring up as well. So believe it or not, his FMCSA freaking portal was only updated from 2 trucks to over 4,000 trucks a month before he was indicted. Here's the fucked up part. The FMCSA even defended itself, because we would think, man, if someone goes from 2 trucks to 4,000 trucks in one click, like, man, that's got to register something. That has to be a red flag that somebody freaking catches somewhere. Oh, no, absolutely not. The FMCSA actually defended themselves, saying in this article, a drastic uptick in the purported trucking company's number of trucks and drivers wouldn't necessarily raise a red flag, since the company was a new entrant and wasn't due for a new entrant audit until it hit the 12-month mark. So I guess because of that, because they're new in the industry and they weren't due for an audit, that just releases the FMCSA, of having any responsibility to this, to, help report this and keep track of these things, which is something that we've talked about. It's the whole reason we've talked about this, is the government's not doing anything for this. All they do is they put out hotlines, they make rules and set up little fines, but there's no task force. There's no kind of other enforcement out there. And it's just going to continue to be the wild, wild west until something really, really happens. But I think that this right here is a good one. I think it's a good sign for all those fraudsters and scammers out there, man. Look what happens, guys. 17 years in prison, and he's pretty much, he's given up everything he owns. When you get indicted on a felony case, especially dealing with money and it's illegal activity, they can take anything that they think they can prove is ill-gotten gains from the money that he earned. So, let this be a sign to all you out there. Some of you will get caught, not all of you. And hopefully it doesn't take every person get to the level that this individual did of scamming people out of money before they get caught. But yeah, like I said, put this one down in the win column for us.
Let's go. I bet that dude's holding on to that Camaro like nothing else, though.
I bet, dude. Out of all the things, like if my stuff got taken from me, out of all the things that I would be most upset about would be my TV, my surround sound, my firearms, and that's probably about it. It's a personal keepsake. So like, I'd be the same way, dude. Like if I had a Camaro, like that'd be one of the things I'd be maddest about right there, man. Oh Lord.
Yeah, he should have put that Camaro on his mama name.
Oh, Ronnie, that was your uncle who did all this? Really, Ronnie? Are you being serious, man?
I wouldn't doubt it, dude. I wouldn't doubt it. That's why I said prove it. He's probably sending me pictures right now.
Dude, that's what's up, man. Hey, Matt, happy hump day to you too, brother. Hope you're doing good. Hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Wild scheme. Yes, it was, man, but it was actually pretty simplistic in the way the guy did it. I mean, I've heard of a lot of people doing this. Matter of fact, I had a friend that he actually operated a few trucks for some rich guys that literally gave him like $300,000 and told him just to buy whatever he wanted. Now that was all a good deal, nobody got hurt in that, but it's a common thing for investors to pull together their money and buy a bunch of trucks. So yeah, there we are. Moving right along with the show, we're going to get Miss Sade here to talk about herself. As the title of the show says, it is Money Talk Bullshit Walks Wednesday. So Sade is going to spit some game to us about money and how good, responsible fiscal activities will help lead, obviously, to your business's success and growth. And it just takes a little bit of work to get that done. So before we bring her on, we'll go ahead and roll this beautiful bean footage for her. There you go.
Hey. I'm in the building tonight. I like the vibe, y'all. I like the vibe. I want to tell everybody thank you for having me on this platform. Before we get started, man, that must have been some underground shit there, boy, with that with that Ponzi scheme or whatever. I mean, I can't be mad at the guy. He should have put the car in his mama's name, though. That way if they come looking for it, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. Hey, that's just like that song, man. I can't remember who it was, a hip-hop song said, got everything in my mama.
Yeah. You know the vibes there. Well, yeah, so that's the move for that. But listen, like I said, thank you for having me. And hello to your audience. Hello, everybody. If I got some people out there supporting me right now, thank you for being here as well. My name is Sade Curry. I am a tax strategist. That's just a pretty word for tax professional, tax preparer. It's a pretty word. I go a little bit deeper than a preparer. And I'm also a financial consultant, and I have a little bit, a hint of business consulting as well. I'm multifaceted, so I can't put quite in the words. I can't put what I do into one or two sentences. I do so many things, but everything that I do complements each other so well in the financial industry. I take a liking to the trucking industry because I have several trucking clients. And normally, let's talk about first what I get during tax season. A lot of times I get, I have several owner operators. The first thing that I get is like an invoice, and it's going to show the insurance, and it shows all of the expenses and everything on there, right? And which is good stuff, but I feel like it's a few things that can be added to that pot, right? Because we have to have information upon information when you're dealing with the IRS. This is on the tax side of things, guys, So, let's just keep it a buck or whatever. If you're owner operator or whatever the case may be, you're going to get that load to where it need to go. Drop it and go back, home, or get ready for the next load or whatever you're going to do. You're really not too concerned in keeping up with your expenses, because you do have expenses. You're not really keeping up with it. You're probably not keeping up with the, I know you're keeping up with your log for your mileage, which that's awesome. That's a huge deduction for you guys. But meals and things like that, as long as you're on the clock and you're eating, there is a deduction for that. Anything that you invest into your business, so far as being an owner operator, you know what I'm saying, you're 1099 or whatever the case may be. You're a business, you're self-employed. So there are expenses that come along with your business that you should be keeping track of. Receipts. If you are making a pretty good amount of income owner operating, you should have a bookkeeper. Actually, it doesn't cost a lot of money to have this. If this is an expense that you're not willing to dive into, spending, then learn how to do it yourself. It's just as simple as, what am I making every month? Who's paying me, and what am I paying out of what I make pertaining to my business? Simple little things, guys. So we'll come back to the tax part, but I also help truckers find funding. I believe that more wheels that's on the ground, more money you're making. And I also believe that one truck can pay for two, or two can pay for three. You get what I'm saying? The sweet thing about this is, you don't have to ever come out of your pocket 100% spending money that you don't have. There's this such thing called business credit, right? Okay, so basically with the business credit, what you're going to do is establish, well, I would do this for you, and our specialist would help you establish accounts. Or if you don't get it through me, that's fine. But you need to work on building your business credit where you're able to get funding and attractive accounts through banks and lenders that are funding ready for you. Um, so those are two things that I offer. Going off a little bit deeper into what I do, the whole mission of who I am and what I like to do, I love to provide entrepreneurs and all business leaders with necessary tools and resources to achieve financial growth and success. My core product offering includes a range of comprehensive resources, expert-led trainings, workshops, personalized business consulting, networking opportunities, and access to other industry experts other than myself. So what that means for you guys is you got questions, I got answers. If I don't have answers, I got people in place that has answers. I have people that I am in network with that loves to help entrepreneurs. If, like I said, if you are 1099, you are self-employed. You are definitely self-employed. You have to treat yourself like a business. Moving forward, guys, I do, like I said, the tax strategy. We find ways to save you money. So that's why I get to talk. I talk about the business expenses. Maybe you're paying for insurance. Maybe you have a 401k, or maybe you have some type of 529 where you're putting money away back for your children or your grandchildren, right? Those are tax saving strategies. So I ask all kind of questions. I get all in your business to see how you can save money. Tax planning, that's a part of tax planning as well. And then with all of these type of strategies, this will help you be able to create cash flow in your business that you don't have to worry about. This is where the funding comes in place at, guys. The funding comes in place to help you build that cash flow. You don't want to stick your hand in the cookie jar. We call that hustling backwards. So if you put yourself in a position to be fundable and credible, that means you can operate off of other people's money, and we call that OPM, other people's money. All of the gurus know about this. All of the big bank hanks, they know about this. Everybody knows about this. We want to get this information out here to help people like me and you. You get what I'm saying? Because if you don't work, you don't eat, right? So we got to make sure we keeping things moving right on along, even on the days that you're not able to do whatever it is you need to do. You still have money generating within your business. You still have cash flow going on, and you hadn't put your hand on any truck for that day. So this is the position that we need to put ourselves in. And I say ourselves, meaning me and you. So basically stepping away from being self-employed to a CEO. That's why I'm here. I practice what I preach by trial and error, guys. Like trial and error. You know, this didn't work, so let's try this. This is a good fit here. Nope. Let's try size 8. Oh, this is a perfect fit here. Trial and error. So along with the business credit and the business funding and all of the taxes, let's talk about why people exhaust their personal credit. Is because they're not using business credit. They don't have access to business funding. So they're exhausting their personal credit. I have been in a position where I've exhausted my personal credit several times, and I had to build myself back up. No shame in my game, right? I learned what it takes to establish good credit and maintain good credit, and the mix of credit that you need and the things that you need to be successful. I am here at the dispense of business leaders, entrepreneurs, self-employed, whatever you want to call yourself. I position myself to be at your expense and help you. If I can't, I know somebody that can. Hopefully what I'm saying is resonating and making sense to you guys about what I do, because I do a lot. I do a lot.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
it does. I followed along quite well with it, and I like how you said in the beginning that all the stuff you do complements each other in one way or another. And I mean, just by looking at your website, you can see that. But through me talking to you, you and I having that conversation, last week or a week before, I see it. I fully see how all of it is. The money is money, and I don't think a lot of people, especially truck drivers and owner operators, understand that money is more than just what you're making off a load. Money is also, like you said, it's a tax attached to your taxes. It's attached to your credit. Money is just a umbrella with a lot of different things under it, and I believe that a lot of them don't give the full attention to each one of those areas that like they should. A lot of them don't even think about it. I'll tell you that there was a short time in my life that I bought into a franchise, and I had, never really owned a business. I thought it was fairly simple. I'd got some really good guidance. My dad's been a business owner for a long time, but there were just a lot of things that I missed, like the deductions. I had no idea what I could deduct. My tax lady, she said, look, to put it simply, anything that you buy to support or run your business is a tax write-off.
Absolutely.
I was like, no shit. And she's like, yeah. She's like, every time you buy a program for your computer or a new hammer or a set of gloves or sticky notes, she's like, all of that stuff is a write-off. So, little things like that are very important. And I also really like that you talk about the business credit. That's another thing that I didn't realize when I opened my business and when I'd helped another person open their brokerage. I didn't have an understanding of really how business credit worked. And, just like personal credit, it can be hard to establish. And I would say a little even more so for a business because, it can take, minimum 3 months. But most times 6 months to a year to really establish a good line of credit as a business. It's not just like personal stuff. You get a credit card, you pay it off for 2 months, and boom, you got a 650 credit score. So it was something I didn't know about as well. So what I wanted to ask you about is here's a question. Here's something that I have brought up to a lot of these owner operators and some other people when they talk about, making their money and getting their finances in order is, I tell them to start setting themselves a budget, towards for their business. Like, when I was a business owner, I gave myself a weekly salary. That's what it was. It doesn't matter if I made $5,000 in profit and my bills were only $1,000. Like, I only gave myself $900. You know what I mean? I allotted myself X amount of money for business meals each week, things like that is, and I know that doesn't just play into the taxes, but I feel it plays into the financial planning part of what you do. So is that something that you preach, set yourself on a budget like you're an employee, even though you're an owner, keeping track of the little things, such like that?
100% I do. Actually, what I've noticed is you have owner operators. Some of them are just rolling with an EIN number. Some of them are not. So let's be clear, even with the LLC or just the sole proprietorship, you are allowed to pay yourself. That's how you're going to be viewed in the IRS eyes as a sole proprietor. So say for instance, like you said, if you grossed 5,000, your business grossed 5,000 for that week, you definitely want to pay yourself first. The first thing I tell people, hey, a quarter on the dollar, every dollar you make is a quarter you should take. You know what I mean? And pay yourself. You have to pay yourself because what's the purpose of being in business if you're not paying yourself? And then also paying yourself helps you to differentiate the expenses in your business, right? So payroll is not necessarily a thing when you're paying yourself under a sole proprietorship, which is an EIN number in an LLC. Payroll is necessarily not a thing because you would probably transfer your money from whatever you grossed into your business account. I preach that. We're going to step away from the personal checkings. We're going to get a business account. Okay. You get the money, what you gross goes into your personal business account. And then from your personal business account, you're going to pay yourself into your personal account. And I didn't mean to say personal business, your business account. Pay yourself from your business account into your personal checking. And this is what you need to do every week. That way you can differentiate what you're paying yourself. You have to pay yourself a decent amount of money. A lot of that really falls under S corp structure, but under the EIN sole proprietorship, take the money out every week, every other week, every month, however you get paid. Pay yourself for first. Every quarter for every dollar. If you can stretch more, do so.
Sade, before you move on, actually, you brought something up in the midst of this that I want to ask a question about. Is that a common thing that you see with a lot of just business owners, period? Like, one person entrepreneurs where they run things out of their personal account or a non-business account, and regardless whether you see it commonly or not, can you tell us, like, is there a importance behind that? Like, is it a good reason, not just having a business account?
Yes, I see that quite often. I do bookkeeping. That's one thing that I do offer, but I offer my bookkeeping.
We lost her.
Oh no.
Man, she got that crappy internet. Dude, is that such a horrible... Oh, there she is.
There we go. I'm sorry. I don't know if that was me.
You're good.
Okay. Yes, I see. It's called commingling. If you're in a business and you're operating from your personal account, that's called commingling. The IRS don't like that. So yes, I have to preach that. Do I work for the IRS? Absolutely not. But I work alongside with them. I don't work for them. I work for you. Get what I'm saying? So yes, that's commingling. You want to get rid of that. You want to try to get rid of that as much as possible. I can give you a quick scenario. I had a guy that he was getting contracted through the state. Through the state of Arkansas, had like 17 accounts that he was dibbling dabbling in. Some business, most personal. I had the hardest of time getting his books categorized, getting rules set up, getting everything set up in his business so it can flow easily every month, so I can give him financial reports and profit and loss statements and all of this good stuff. If the IRS were to crack open an audit, which they changed the word audit to an examination now, y'all. That's one of the key words for the IRS now, examination. Remember that, y'all. So if the IRS wants to say, hey, we want to strike an examination on you, we need to see your books. Well, damn, you don't have any books to show them. That's one red flag right there. And then what you say doesn't matter. It's all about documentation being the representation. You see what I'm saying? So it's really hard to differentiate what's going on in your account. It's really hard to differentiate in the IRS. I have seen instances where people have been examined and taxed twice they've been taxed twice because they couldn't prove it, which sucks. It really sucks, but what can you do? So to answer your question, yes.
I figured it was quite common. Like I said, I made mistakes. There's tons of things that that people don't think about, man, when it comes to operating a business, all the way down to how many bank accounts you have and what kind of bank accounts you should have, and the way that money flows. So, while we're talking about, the flow of money, tell us in a little bit more about the business credit, because that was the next thing that was a struggle for me. Once I established everything, I tried getting like credit cards with companies or lines of credit, and it was extremely hard. And they all said, oh, you got to do all these things. And I had no fucking clue what they were talking about that I had to do.
Right. So I got into the business credit by trial and error. I was establishing credit accounts that was not reporting. Everybody, if you don't know, the paydex score should be over 80. You have business credit reports. That's what you want. That's the cream right there. That's the guns and butter. That's what you want. You want business credit reports. You want accounts that are reporting to these business credit bureaus, right? So the paydex score should be over an 80, because that's in the green. You're in the green right there, right? I want to say around 10%, maybe 10% of credit reports to the business credit. Like the not the agencies or the creditors, only like a small majority. That's why I push people, hey, if you don't know who these people are, this reporting, maybe you need to find somebody who does. Find you a
Well,
specialist that works with that.
what are some examples? Give us some examples of ways to like establish it, like different kinds of credit lines or loans, or like what are the things that a business should do, and more specifically, if you could, owner operators, like what are some things that they could do to help establish their credit.
Okay, so the first thing you would do was just become eager to learn about it. Become, a student of it. You don't necessarily have to know much of anything, but just be eager to find out, hey, how can this help me? And finding the right accounts would be something that I would be able to help you with. Let's say, for instance, an easy account. One easy one would be like a Uline. Uline has everything. Have you ever heard of Uline before?
I know exactly who they are. Yes, I actually
Yeah,
get a catalog for some stupid reason.
me too. And you know what? I use them when I need them. You know what I mean? I use them when I need them. So let's just say, for instance, you get a Uline, right? It's a buy now, pay later. These are net 30 accounts, because let's say you have tier 1, 2, 3, and 4 credit. So in business, you have to build your credit from tier 1 all the way to tier 4. But on your way up that ladder, you got to find the right accounts that's going to be attractive to lenders and banks, and also that's reporting. And you need to try to find some things that are specific to what you do, if you can. If not, don't worry about it. Business credit necessarily, it's the opposite of personal credit. The more personal credit that you use, the less approval rates that you will get, right? The more business credit that you get, the more money they want to give you. They're not interested in they want to know, can you pay me back? Okay, can you pay me back in 30 days? Well, guess what? We got a $20,000 credit line we want to give you. Oh, you've done great so far. Keep up the good work. We want to increase it to $40,000 now. This is the green. This is like the green light on business credit right here. This is where you want to go. This the guns and butter of it right here, right? Um, do I know every single one by heart? The credit lines, I don't. If I see them, I can point. But like the tier 1, you definitely want like the U lines. And then like the tier 2, you definitely would want like a Sam's Club account. I don't care if you're buying tissue and Cheez-Its out of there. You know what I'm saying?
You can like a Sam's Club business account that'll help your business credit. Like, no shit.
No shit, Sherlock.
That's nuts. Hey,
Yeah.
let me ask you about this one, because I know this is a very common one for people in the logistics industry, brokers and carriers, but factoring companies. Like, I'll tell you, one of the things that helped us build our credit when I helped someone open their brokerage was factoring. We factored with Triumph, and we knew they reported, and that helped us. So like, what do you think about those? Are those good ones to start out with and start to depend on, or what?
So first, I'm not too familiar with Triumph, but first I would have to see like what tier that will fall under. Of course, you go for the easy ones first. Go for the easiest ones first. The ones that are easy, that'll give you a line of credit, and boom. You don't. Sometimes you have to pay for lines of credit. Now, it used to be, yeah,
Secure
yeah.
line.
Yeah, so do what makes sense financially. If it's $90 to get started and you got the $90 to get started to establish that line, great. But I need to look and see which one Triumph actually fall under. Would it be like a tier 2 or tier 3?
Honestly, I don't know. Like I said, they're just an invoice factoring company.
Right.
One of the things that they promote, and RTS they promoted as well, is they pay your bills, obviously, because they pay the shipper. So they report you paying them on time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's something that all new carriers and brokers do. I mean, because they need the working capital. I didn't know if you had any input on it. What you thought about it. So
I could get some information, do some research on them, and I can definitely give you some intel on what I think about it.
Well, I mean,
So,
you got to just research them. I was just talking about factoring companies, period. There's a freaking gajillion of them out there. But
right.
now let me ask you this. So here's a question. You know, when carriers go and buy their equipment, you know, usually for the first time they get it underneath their personal credit, you know, just like when you buy a car, you know, because again, usually even though they have an LLC or an EIN, you know, they don't have any business credit. So once you start building your credit, you know, would it be smarter? And this is, I guess, a credit question and a financial planner type question. Would it be smarter, you know, once you establish that credit to, you know, buy your equipment under your business credit? Or do you think people are better off doing it under their personal stuff? And also with that, are both of them a write-off? So if you do it on your, okay. If you need me to repeat that, let me know. It was kind of
No, I got what you're saying. So say for instance, a lot of owner operators, like I said, are sole proprietors, LLCs. So when you file your taxes, you're still filing on a form called 1040, right? So you're still being taxed as a sole proprietor or an LLC. So whether it is rolling under your social security number or your business's EIN, is still at the same tax rate. So if you bought it if you were not able to get the business credit, and you know, if the personal credit works for you at first, fine, so be it, right? We're gonna do what we gotta do, and it's definitely a deduction. There you can deduct it all at once, or you can depreciate, you know, depreciate the trailers or the equipment. You can depreciate it. Some people like to take the deduction all at once, you know, and most people like to depreciate. Totally up to you. So basically, you know, it wouldn't matter whether you got it under the business credit or not, because it's all taxed at the same rate. It's all about how hard are you willing to take a hit to your personal credit. You know, once you finance this $40,000 thing, I'm not saying that's what it costs, but if you once you finance this $40,000 thing, you know, ain't too much you can get financed for afterwards on your personal credit.
That was pretty much my question. You know, it was like,
Right.
you establish that business credit, you know, I mean, I guess actually what I would really want to ask is, does that business credit afford you more credit with buying equipment? And does it do more for you, you know, when you go to get equipment, you know, because your personal stuff, they look at, you know, your debt to income ratio, you know, blase, you know, but with your business credit, I assume they're looking at other things, you know, your profit and, you know, or revenue. And all that. So is that, you know, the more beneficial thing, you know, as far as like owner operators, especially, to start financing under their business credit once they have it established?
It's definitely more beneficial because, like I said, the more business credit that you use, the more they want to give you. It's definitely beneficial. 100% more beneficial, you know.
So do you know you're talking about ones that do and do not report towards your business credit, you know, would those equipment finance places, whether it be a dealership or whatever, do all of those, would they report to your business credit, or would it be like you said, you know, maybe some would, maybe some wouldn't? Because, you know, when it comes to your personal credit, they all going to report to that shit, you know.
Yeah, miss a payment or be late, they definitely gonna report, even if they don't report. You feel me? So yeah, so I wouldn't say all of them would report, but see, that's something that you probably would, you know what I'm saying? Like say, hey, look, can you report this to my business? You know, can you report this? Just like some places on your personal, they don't report. But if you ask them, hey, can you report this? Because you definitely would report it if I missed a payment or it came back to you, whatever. So that's something that you can actually ask the lender. You know what I mean? Like the person that, you know, the lender rather, because either way it go, when you're getting financing through a company for equipment, it's still a lender. So you can definitely ask their lender. Some of them do report, some of them don't. You know what I mean? So that's definitely a question that you should be asking before you make the purchase, because you want all of your coins to count. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we need the equipment. We need that equipment. But like, you know, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. I purchased, I need you to report. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. So Sade, if I was going to ask you as an owner operator, you know, what are the things that I need to do financially, including, you know, the credit, taxing, my planning, all that stuff? What are the most important steps that I need to take to set myself or my business up for success when it comes to money?
Okay, so let's say you if you go to I like barbecue, right? So I'm from Arkansas. I love barbecue because I'm from like the Memphis area of Arkansas. I love barbecue. I'm gonna go to one of the best barbecue spots I know to go to, right? Because they smoke the meat just right. You know what I'm saying? So you can say they specialize in barbecue. You want to get with people that specialize in certain things. Like, some people want to shave from over the top and try to save money, which a lot of times that hurts you in that mindset, saying I'm gonna save money and do it myself. Well, guess what? If I don't know what I'm doing, I'm definitely going to reach out to somebody who does. Get with people that know more than you. Heart patients go to heart surgeons, right? I don't know what you call those particular doctors. People that, neurological issues, they go to a neurosurgeon, right? You see what I'm saying? Get with people that do these things. If you're self-employed, if you're an entrepreneur, whatever aspect of business that you're in, you need to have a team of people. This don't cost as much money as people think it is. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and make that an expense, because this is definitely a tax write-off as well. You know what I'm saying? You need to find you a tax professional. Let's be clear. Tax professionals can do what CPAs can't, because we specialize in tax, right? CPAs are more general. They can help do corporations, whatever the case may be. I'm not a CPA. I never want to be one. But get with people that can help you. You know what I'm saying? Get you a good tax strategist or a professional, preferably somebody that works all year. I work all year. I don't do this 3-4 month thing and then I'm on my way. Like, I ain't gonna say, but one of them other guys, you know what I'm saying? One of the other guys or whatnot. Get with somebody that's knowledgeable, somebody that has a team of people with them. You know what I mean? That colleagues or whatever the case may be. Ask questions, because if a good preparer, a good professional, whoever you're looking for, they're gonna ask you a lot of questions. They're gonna have to probe. You got to probe. So you should be asking them a lot of questions, right? Bug the hell out of them. To be successful, you need a team. You need a team. That's the most generalized answer that I can give. You got to have a team. You're not in this alone. You need to find people that know more than you know. Don't be the person that know everything, because you possibly can't operate a vehicle or operate a truck or whatever the case may be and worry about your finances as well. That don't make sense. You know what I mean? You go get the bread, go get the bacon, and let somebody help you slice it up. You know what I'm saying?
I am with you fully on that. I'll say, I've never been an owner operator, but I helped someone do some different operational parts for a truck company, and I'll say, I have been a driver, and I don't see how really there is that you have the time out there to do all these things, and I'm talking about more just money stuff. People give dispatchers a lot of shit, saying that there's not a place for them in the industry, and and I disagree with that. If I was a driver, I would most likely dispatch myself, but I see how that is a tool that a lot of people need. Stuff like this, especially when it comes to money. I would say there's no way, because I'm sure there are, but it's very hard to be out there to keep track of all your expenses. Writing all these things down, making sure you're doing your taxes. Making sure that things are coming in and going out of the right accounts, the right people are getting paid at the right times. What moves to make to build your business credit. All these things that everyone thinks about out there, as owner operators, but really don't have the time, or like you said, they don't know the people. They don't have the network to get it done. And I will use LinkedIn as the example here. Things like that are incredible. I have networked and met so many people, yourself included, through LinkedIn. Like, that is my network. When someone says they need something, like, I go to LinkedIn and I do searches for freaking people that I know to see if they can do shit. So I'm with you. I do. I think you need a team too. You know, you can't know everything, and although you may want to know everything, it's an impossibility. You know, you're going to miss things, you know, because you're not an expert. You know, you're teaching yourself as you go, and a lot of times that's not the way to go about it. So I appreciate it, Sade. I really do. You taking the time out and speaking with us. Hunter, you've been kind of silent and stuff on this, man. I don't know, you know, if you want to.
I've just been listening. I'm
Yeah,
soaking it in, man, as always.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Sade, is there anything that you want to say before we go to our final sponsor break and chop out for the night?
Yeah, really quick. You know, making money is a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? Call it getting the bag, paper chasing, whatever you want to call it. Keep in mind, whatever you gross is not what you gross. You're going to gross, you're going to have expenses, then you're going to have a net. So whatever you have in that net, you want to be able to keep it. So you need to get with somebody that can help you, give you good intel, give you good information, and y'all build a relationship and put that person on speed dial in your contacts. Put them in your contacts and be ready to call and bug them. You know, me personally, I bug people. But anyway, I appreciate y'all for having me.
We appreciate you coming on and sharing the information that you did. You know, I mean, money is important. Period. You know, when you own a business, but you know, as we've obviously brought to light, you know, during this our talk tonight is, you know, most people don't know how to go about it, or they only know a little bit, you know, and not how to go across the finish line. So, you know, we, you know, our sponsor, AccuBid Pro. I mean, that's their whole deal, man, is helping owner operators keep track of their expenses, man. Like put their revenue and stuff in there. You know, what were the expenses for that load? You know, and it computes stuff and it spits out, hey, this is how much it cost you to run your truck per mile. You know, so they understand where their money goes. You know, where they're losing money, where they're making money, and it, you know, teach them how to keep their business growing and keep it afloat. So, you know, financial stuff is really important, and I really don't think that, you know, you can shine enough light on it, because there's always people coming and go in this industry, and there's always people that, you know, they know something, but then something new comes along and they don't know anything about that, and they need to
all the time
have a resource to reach out for that. So,
Mm-hmm.
As y'all see, Sade's information is rolling across the bottom of the screen there. There is her website, her phone number, and her email. Go check that out if you're looking for anyone to help you, you know, with your bookkeeping and tax preparation out there. You know, especially if you're an owner operator, that is one of the things she's real passionate about. Helping build your business credit, get yourself some business funding. Just a whole slew of things that Sade and her little team can help you with. So make sure you hit them up, and if you do, make sure you also tell them that you heard about her and saw her on the Logistics Lounge. With that, we're going to go ahead and do our final sponsor break for the evening, and then we're going to chop it out. Tomorrow night, it's just going to be Mr. Dr. Drizzy Dre and we're going to have a little lighthearted conversation on some supply chain things going on right now through the holidays. And we'll talk about some recalls that I ran across online. For all you truckers out there, in case you have any of these models that I'll mention tomorrow night, you can take them in and get them repaired free of charge. So moving on out, AccuBid Pro. Got an app out there, like I said, for all you owner operators. Help you record your costs so you know at what mark you are profitable. Allows you to bid better and keep your business running smoothly. And crap, man, I keep losing this freaking video every single time. Look at that.
Don't be a victim of cheap freight anymore. Take back control. These are turbulent times for the transportation industry, with companies merging or even closing their doors. Whether you're going out on your own or leasing on with a new company, know your operating costs. Look out for you and bid better with AccuBid Pro.
I got to see if I can rearrange these videos, man. Like, I swear it changes. Every time I log onto the show, the videos like rearrange them damn selves. I freaking miss where they're at and stuff. So, all right, Hunter, you got any closing comments for the beautiful people out there before we chunk the deuces?
Glad to be back. Glad to see everybody here. Sade, thank you for being here. It's awesome thing you got going there. watch out for them deer.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, as Hunter said, we appreciate y'all joining in, and for everybody that watches after, we appreciate that as well. We will see all of y'all here tomorrow night. And with that said, chunk the deuces.